welcome. Today I'm going to create a small art journal spread for the, let's see, we're in April. April, I have so much going on, I can't remember anything these days, but I think it's April collage collaboration hosted and coordinated by Creating with Jovi. I'll link her channel down below. And this is a collaboration that's open to anyone that wants to join in, and you just use the hashtag that she provides each month. And this month it is Spring 2021, hashtag Spring 2021. And there are some other prompts, but to be honest, I'm not so great with prompts usually. So I'm going to kind of do my own thing. And I've got a lot going on this month, so I wanted to do something kind of simple and quick, and also because I thought it would be good to show that you don't really need to necessarily have a lot of time to create something. You can do it if you have limited amount of time or limited materials maybe. But anyway, here's what I decided to do. I have a smaller journal because I thought, that it would be easier to create on a smaller journal as well. I thought about even doing it on an index card and then attaching it to a journal, but I decided to do it on this one. I'm not using any paint. I grabbed some scraps that were on my desk. All these were on my desk. You can see how messed, and lots more. Even some fabric. I actually took this off the floor of a room that we were having painted a couple of weeks ago. And I thought it would be great in an art journal spread, and I think I'll use it today. A leftover piece of a jelly print that I made. I'm going to use that because I think it looks nice. Because we were having painting done, I have a paint sample that I'm going to use, and a bird is going to be my symbol for spring. So I got all that, and I got this little bird from this Tim Holtz package that just came out recently that I picked up. I love the black and white, and I love vintage. So I also have another little scrap of fabric that I actually found this on the floor. And I thought, oh, well, maybe I'll use that one. And I like to have options. And then I have a stamp set that I thought might work with this. I don't know if I'm going to use that or not, but I have it with my stamp pad, my glue stick, my little mini tiny attacher, I think it's called, also by Tim Holtz. This is a Tim Holtz project, apparently. And then I have some words. So let's see what we can create. I'm going to, I think I'm going to switch this to fast forward and just see what I come up with. Okay, here we go. So first thing is I'm going to, of course, figure out how to arrange my items. One thing I want to say about this particular collage, or any collage in general, if you try to limit your items a little bit, I limited mine a lot, it helps, because sometimes if you have too many choices, I think you can get a bit overwhelmed, or at least that happens to me. So for this particular one, I really like vintage papers, and I like vintage sheet music. I love those shades of brown and the different shades that those papers have, and the printing and all that. So I chose two pieces that I thought would work well together, and they're in two different shades of brown, my favorite color. So I thought those worked really well, and happily I didn't have to go foraging for more papers all over the place, which I have done too. And I used a portion of that gel print, which I love. If you don't have a gel print, that's okay. You can use another piece of patterned paper, or something from a book or a magazine, or even wrapping paper, things like that. So anyway, so far I'm happy with my arrangement, but I wanted to add the fabric at the bottom to add like a little strip going horizontally, since everything is vertical so far. And I also thought it would be a nice little perch, as it were, for my bird. But I didn't really like that strip I cut at first, and then I cut a different one thinking maybe I could layer the two. I didn't like that either. But I realized when I tried that smaller piece that what I didn't like about the first piece is that it was too big. So I got a smaller piece, and now I'm liking it much, much better. And then, let's see. Oh, I have to add in my drywall tape, of course. I love the way that looks, actually. It worked perfectly there, I think. And it adds a lovely dimension and texture to my collage, I think. And then I did want to add one more little thing to that fabric. I thought it was kind of plain. So I happened to have this ribbon on my desk. It was previously either coffee dyed or tea dyed. I can't remember which. And I thought it went perfectly with the rest of the collage, tied in the brown and all that. So I tore my papers a little bit more to a shape or a size that I thought looked better. But when I tore some of my papers, they lost their lovely brown edge. So I decided to add that back in. So I edged a couple of those pieces of paper with my brown distress ink, and you'll see that I do that around both of those pieces. And then I start, I believe next I start, yes, attaching my papers with my glue stick. The glue stick works fine for me with thinner papers, and so that's what I use for the most part. And then you'll see in a minute I did use the Fabri-Tac glue for some of the heavier items, or I thought the glue stick wouldn't cut it. And the other thing I wanted to say about the collage, as I start to glue, if I have a more elaborate collage, or with more pieces, a lot of items, and I'm worried that I'm going to forget where they go, I usually take a picture first, and so I can refer back to my picture as I'm gluing things down. And this one was pretty simple and straightforward. So I didn't have a problem with it, as you can see there, and I wasn't worried about getting things exactly the same way, because it was all fine. So I'm attaching my little bird to the paint sample with my mini stapler, and I love the way that looks too, and using the Fabri-Tac for that, as you can see there. Next, let's see, I'm going to put the fabric on there, and I also attached the brown ribbon to the fabric with my stapler. I thought that would look cute and would be a nice touch, and I glued that on with my Fabri-Tac glue as well. I had some words off to the side there that I thought I was going to use. I thought it was perfect. It says free to fly, but you'll see in a minute when I put them down to see how they look. I just really didn't like the way they looked there. So then I thought, well, maybe I need another phrase to go with it. And I just quickly decided that I think it was just I didn't like the words on the black background. So I decided to switch over, which you'll see in a minute too, to the words on the white background, and I edged those in the brown distress ink. I picked 3 phrases because I like to do things in odd numbers most of the time. That's my preference, and I think it looks better, but not always, but most often I do do things in odd numbers. So I glue those on, the words, and again, using my little Fabri-Tac there for the last one, because that one needs a little extra glue there to attach. And so far so good. I decided I am going to stamp, and so I pick out some stamps that I think will work, and I stamp a bit here and there, trying not to overthink it and going with the flow. I picked out that round stamp because of all the rectangular and square shapes on the page. I thought it needed something with a little contrast with the round, so I like the way that looks. And then I pick out a number stamp because I just like numbers, and I don't know, for some reason, again, just going intuitively, I thought the numbers would look good and going in a different direction than my other stamping. So that I also think worked out well. And I'll stamp that, and we are getting close to the end here. Okay, I'm done. That was a really quick and easy collage for me, especially. I like to agonize over things sometimes. And if I wanted to take a little more time, if I wasn't sure about placement of things, what I usually do is take a picture of it and look at it through my phone or my iPad, because for some reason that just makes it always clear, like what if I needed something else or something doesn't look right. Not always clear, but it helps a lot. So with this one, I really just wanted to do it quickly, not think about it too much, and I'm quite happy with the way it turned out. Normally I also would have added black splatters, because that's one of my favorite things to do, but instead I did the stamping because I didn't want to get any paint out today. And I just also wanted to say that I just put this paper here because I had this background that was distracting me a little bit, so I wanted to look at it without that, and I just happened to have that piece of paper there. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this little project, and I hope you'll give it a try, because it's really fun to do something quick and easy like this. So just grab things that you have laying around, and it could be anything, and it could be from magazine pages, from junk mail catalogs, paint samples, things falling off of your wall, anything. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.